Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 9th October 2024. So let's get started. So before getting started, I want to focus on two things that you need to focus before reading newspaper every day. Always follow your UPSC syllabus. Don't read out of the syllabus because you will be getting questions from syllabus only. So if you're not getting questions, if you're reading any other topic which is out of your syllabus, if it is not getting question, then waste of your time, right? So here we are coming here to read and to learn to clear your examination. So focus on your syllabus, don't deviate from the syllabus. And next one is you have to see how the questions are asking from UPSC point of view, so that you can prepare according to the demand of the question, so that you have to focus on your previous questions. At least see both prelims and mains previous questions from last 10 to 15 years. Okay, so let us see the first article. So see the title, guys. PSLV C-37 rocket body re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, says ISRO. So here what is the keyword? Keyword here is PSLV C-37. So what is this PSLV? Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, right? So why this C-37 is important? So it is one of the important milestone in our space history of India, because in this, by using this rocket, that is PSLV 37, we launched huge number of rockets into the orbit in a single go. So because of this it is very important, and this launch we had made around, like, you have to see the year when we launched, in year 2017, and now it is 2024. So in this 2024, this vehicle which had been returned back to the earth. So it is an important thing that you have to see. And this PSLV C-37 is very important because in a single go we launched 103 satellites into our orbits. Okay, so because of this it is very important. Okay, now let us see the keyword. Keyword here is PSLV C-37. Okay, PSLV C-37. So from which subject we will be dealing with this? From GS paper 3 under Science and Technology. So what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to see launch vehicles. So we have SLV, we have ALV, we have PSLV, and we have GSLV. Okay, SLV is satellite launch vehicle. So this is the first satellites we made, and later on the second stage is augmented launch vehicle, and third stage is PSLV, that is polar satellite launch vehicle, and fourth stage is geostationary satellite launch vehicle or geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. So actually here in this PSLV again we have three variants, and this PSLV is XL. Okay, it is advanced in this PSLV itself. And here you have to see what is the significance of this PSLV C-37. So through this we launched 103 satellites into space, and next one is we launched that in year 2017, and 2024 it reached Earth atmosphere, or we are going to see that will be returning to the Earth now. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to see, and there is a high chance of getting question regarding differences between this launch vehicles. Already in 2019 there was a question between differences between this PSLV and as well as GSLV. Okay, so here you have to focus on that. So if you see the context, it says that ISRO announced that successful re-entry of this PSLV C-37 rocket upper stage into its atmosphere on October 6, 2024. So it is one of the great achievement of India, and this rocket was launched in year 2017, and it is one of the very important history of our India that we deployed 104 or 103. So 103 satellites into the orbit, and actually 103 or other countries, one is India's satellite. So totally there are 104. Okay, so 103 or other countries' satellites. So only one satellite of India we launched by using that mission, it is of India. So totally 104 satellites that we launched. So if you see what are the things that you have to remember, is by using this PSLV, we got a historic achievement of launching of 104 satellites into space. So we can understand that India's role had been increased after launching of 104 satellites into space. And next one here is, so now the monitoring of this rocket, which is done by ISRO along with US Spacecom as well. So here, whenever we are taking help of other countries' space technology, which will be also very helpful for monitoring of the safety. And even we can also predict about the space debris behavior. So actually, you know that whenever we are launching satellites into space, after certain time period, if their validity is done, they will be becoming the space debris. So actually, you know that we are facing plastic pollution on Earth, right? So it is one of the global challenge that we are facing. So soon in the future, we are going to have this problem of space debris. It is going to be the global concern once again. So here we have to take some measures to decrease this space debris as well. So this is the one essential mission that we can say that whenever it is coming back onto the Earth's surface, we can decrease the space debris. And next one here is, it is our environmental responsibility as well, because each and every country, they have to attain this target of achieving sustainable development goals. And even we have to focus on sustainable practices even in this space exploration as well. So here how we can focus on sustainable practice in the space exploration, we have to minimize the space debris in the long-term axis. And next one here is, we have to focus on technology as well. So this space mission management is very, very important, so that in the future also we have to take, or we have to come up with the research and development such that we have to decrease the space debris. And if you see the future missions, so this PSLV C37 mission serves as a foundation for future launches as well, so that this mission will be providing enough data like how we can continue our future explorations, okay, so that we can enhance our efficiency financially and as well as environmentally and as well as sustainably in the future. And next one here, if you see the global significance, so by achieving such a kind of milestone, India will be enhancing its reputation in the international market, so that we can also get partnerships and public-private partnerships, and as well as we can get sponsors from the other countries, so that we can attract even investments in our future space endeavors. And even if you are focusing on this, how it is coming and whether it is having any impact on environment, whether it will be going to fall. So if you are having the proper protection, then we can also focus on the safety protocols of that so and so space, okay, so that we can decrease the risk on the Earth or its inhabitants. So if you see some highlights of this PSLV C37, so when it was launched on February 15th, 2017, and from where it had been launched, Satish Dhawan Space Center, where it is located in Sriharikota. And we are using this PSLV XL. XL is the most powerful variant of this PSLV. And what are the objectives of this mission? The mission here, as I said, 103 are foreign satellites and one is Indian satellite. That Indian satellite is Cartosat 2D. It is an observation satellite which had been launched by using this PSLV C37. And also we have 103 co-passenger satellites into space, and totally how many satellites? 104 satellites. Okay, now let us see next topic. As I said, you will be getting for next 6 days articles on Nobel Prize in the different categories. So yesterday we discussed about medicine. In medicine, this Nobel Prize which is given for studying of microRNA. So here it is talking about physics Nobel Prize which is awarded for machine learning. So as you all know that now in this 21st century, it is mainly occupied by this artificial intelligence and machine learning. So these machine learning pioneers, they got this Nobel Prize in this category of physics. Okay, now let us see this topic. In 2024, Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to the professors John Hopfield and as well as Hinton. Two persons, Hopfield and Hinton, for their work in machine learning and as well as artificial neural networks. So based on these neural networks in 2021, you already got prelims based question. So just try to Google or try to learn about what is this neural network. Okay, at last I will be giving you even some information regarding this artificial neural work. So actually their contribution, why they got this Nobel Prize, because of their work regarding machines that can learn autonomously, that will be having influence on the development of AI technologies and as well as chat applications. So now we have different chat applications, for example, chat GPT, Meta AI, like that. So if you give any information or if you are typing something, so instantly you will be getting reply for that. So for such kind of this chat applications, we need this machine learning. So this is a study which done by these two people who got this Nobel Prize now. So if you see in detail, so this 2024 physics Nobel laureates, so why they got? Because they developed techniques that have greatly helped in development of contemporary machine learning, especially that machine learning that we can use in this chat purposes. Okay, so if you see the contributions of one person, that is Hopefield, so he is from Princeton University and he created a network that employs a technique for storing and recreating patterns. So whenever we are giving any information, that information will be stored, and as soon as the information is stored, it will be focusing on recreating the patterns. That means if you are asking any question, the answer will be generated automatically. So this is the work which done by this Hopefield, and he also explained properties of a material which is based on its atom spin, and he also said that atoms, how they will be acting as a single magnet. So that phenomena they will be using in the machine learning. Okay, so first one you have to remember here is he worked on how the storing and recreating patterns which will be happening when atom is converting into a small magnet. So this is the one contribution of one person. And second person, Hinton, he said about novel network that employs alternative technique. Okay, so here he talked about artificial neural network. So one person talked about generating and as well as storing of information, which happens when a single atom is converted into a magnet. And second person, he said about artificial neural network. So what are these artificial neural networks? It is a network, it is nothing but a computing system. So this computing system is got inspiration from the human brain's information processing. So if you're getting any question, if you're receiving any stimulus, so this stimulus will be entering into your brain. After entering into your brain, so how your networks will be connected, like right brain and left brain will be connected. So information from one part of the brain will be processed by another part of the brain, and you will be getting signal like what you have to do in that situation. So in the same way, how human brain information processing is happening, in the same way they created a neural network based on computing system. It is artificial system. So because of this, the name they got, it is called as artificial neural network. And these neural network, they have the ability to solve the complex problems by finding relationship between inputs and outputs. So what is the input they are getting? So in return, what are the outputs they have to give? So this is the important function of this neural network. And even one more specialty of this artificial neural network is, so they have even potential for self-learning, so that they can provide better results and with more data and evidences. And it is suitable for a range of applications, like for example, they can be used for weather prediction, they can be used for pattern recognition, and they can be also used for some recommendations of any changes in the systems. So this is about this artificial neural network, and there is a high chance of getting both brains and as well as prelims based question from this topic. And next topic here is, India has eliminated trachoma, says WHO. Again, there is one disease which had been eliminated by our country, and this is the thing which announced by WHO. So I want to give you one homework, guys. So you have to see which are the diseases eliminated in India so far. So everyone knows that smallpox had been eradicated, and apart from that, which other diseases are eradicated? So in that list, you have to add this trachoma also, because there may be a question from your UPSC like, Consider the following diseases. Which of the above diseases are eradicated in our country? Which are the correct or incorrect? So like that you will be getting a question in your UPSC. So don't go away because it is a very expected question. And next one here is you have to know some facts regarding this trachoma. So here you can also expect another kind of question, that is consider the following statements regarding trachoma, or else they'll say recently trachoma is in news. What it is? They will be giving an insect or a butterfly or like any disease like that. Or else you can get one more question. So trachoma is seen in news. Consider the following statements which are correct or incorrect regarding this trachoma. So in this way you can expect three types of questions from this topic. And this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. And you can eliminate only prelims based question, not a mains based question here. So if you see context, what is this article is talking about? World Health Organization has now recognized that India has successfully eliminated trachoma. Trachoma, it is a bacterial disease. You have to remember, it is a bacteria. It is not an amoebal disease or parasite or any virus. It is a bacterial infection. And which part of your body will be get affected? Eyes. So eyes will be affected. Why this disease is very important? Because this disease is caused by infection and the bacteria called as chlamydia. Chlamydia trachomatis is a bacteria which causes trachoma, and it is a public health problem in 42 countries. And actually this disease which causes complete blindness or visual impairment of around 1.9 million people across the world. And once you're getting blindness after getting this disease, and we can't make it reversible, it is irreversible. That means you will be having complete blindness till your death. We can't do anything. So it is very, very important. And it is a neglected tropical disease as well. And it is the world's leading infectious cause of blindness. So it is one of the important disease which cause blindness across the world. And how it will be spreading? So infections spread through personal contact. So if you touch any person or any secretions of so-and-so patient with the hands, and if you are applying to your eyes, then easily this bacteria will be getting transmitted. And if you are touching the clothes and bedding or any hard surfaces which are even infected by this person, or even if sometimes you know that small flies, they will be coming, and sometimes they will be disturbing you, right, to your eyes, etc. So if one fly which is disturbing the person who is having this disease, and the same fly which is coming to you and which is disturbing you also, which cause transmission of this bacteria. And with the repeated episodes of the infection over many years, then the eyelashes will be completely falling down. So there will be no eyelashes, and sometimes these eyelashes will be falling in your eye, and that will cause pain, and finally the permanent damage of the cornea will happen. So because of this, it is like irreversible. We can't change. We can't bring this sight back. Okay, and next article say here, India makes pledge of $300 million for WHO program. So what is this article is talking about? India is giving a grant to WHO. Why India needs to give the grant? Tell me. Why India needs to give the grant? So from which subject we can deal with this? From international relations, from GS paper 2, and from GS paper 2 under health. Okay, now tell me why India is going to give a grant of $300 million for WHO. Are we become richer every day? No, right? So we have our own problems, and why India needs to give like 300 million for WHO, $750 million for Maldives? Why? We have more money. So actually you have to know this. So WHO, it is a global organization, right? In India also we have national level, we have Union Health Ministry. So whenever we are talking about health in India, so one problem we always say is there is very less spending in health in our country. But if you set the global level, India is the sixth largest contributor to WHO. So is there any controversy which is going on at the global level? India is the sixth largest contributor or funder for this WHO. And now India is going to give around $300 million for WHO programs. Okay, but why can't India spend more for our citizens to improve the health status? So think about this. I don't want to create any controversy here. So think and try to get your own perspective. So you are future civil servants. You should think in every dimension. Viksit Bharat 2047. Okay, so India has pledged over $300 billion to WHO for core programs from year 2025 to 2028, and out of this, $250 million are allocated for Center for Excellence for Traditional Medicine. So this is very important. So out of $300 million, $250 million are for traditional medicine. So why we have to focus on traditional medicine? Tell me. Ayush program. So what are the things comes under Ayush? Ayurvedic, homeopathy, Unani, Siddha, and Unani and Siddha. So actually this commitment is part of one of the large efforts taken by the WHO to bridge the funding gap. And actually India wants to save 40 million lives through health initiatives. With money that we are contributing for this WHO, with that money we can save the lives of 40 million people across the world. So now tell me, is it right to India to provide fund for a WHO or not? Because as you all know that India is the leader in this global south. So India needs to take care of the less developed countries and as well as other developing countries. So if India is contributing in this WHO, obviously it will be helpful for especially many countries, and we can save the lives of millions of people. Okay, now what are the key points that you have to see? So India's $300 million pledge, which will be helpful for improving of leadership role of India globally, especially in which field? Global health financing. So write this keyword, global health financing. And especially after once this COVID-19 pandemic came into our lives, see, everyone understood about importance of contribution to the healthcare. And every country need to be committed for enhancing of whatever healthcare system they are having in their country. So for enhancing of health system also, so this funds will be very useful. And now especially we are focusing on traditional medicine. So why we have to focus on this traditional medicine? What will be the advantages? If you're focusing on traditional medicines, traditional practices, less cost, next, no side effects, next, local community will be getting empowerment, next, and even India is well known for traditional medicine. Okay, so for that condition, to improve the culture and to project India's culture in this medicine in the international arena, we are focusing on traditional medicine here. So the allocation of $250 million to the Center of Excellence for Traditional Medicine, which indicates that we are having a very important move to integrate traditional practices with the modern medicine. And even we want to promote holistic health approaches. Holistic means all round, completely. So we are not focusing only on allopathy. We are focusing on even Ayurvedic now, homeopathy now, Unani now, Siddha now. And next one here is what will be the impact of this money that we are contributing. So we are going to save 40 million lives. It demonstrates a robust agenda. We are focusing on not only treatment, but we are focusing on preventive health measures as well, so that we can ensure health equity. Write down this word, health equity. So we are promoting health equity. I'm not talking about equality here. I'm talking about equity. That means less developed countries and developing countries, they will be getting benefited compared to that of developed countries. And next one is with other countries like even Indonesia, Bhutan, they are also expected to contribute for this WHO, so that there will be increasing trend of contribution from other countries. So if India is giving lot of contributions, and at least neighborhood countries which are having the good ties with India, so they will come forward to contribute something, so that it will be helpful for international collaborations. So whenever the countries they are coming forward and contributing, that will be helpful for addressing this global health challenges, right? This word global health challenges can be addressed. Global health challenges can be addressed. And next one is investment in digital health. So actually in this amount, $250 million is for traditional health, and they are focusing on $10 million for digital health. So as you all know that because of COVID-19 pandemic, so there was nationwide imposition of lockdowns, containment, and everything is happening, right? Isolation, everything. At that time, if they want to go and meet the doctors, will that possible? No, right? So for that, we need to have compulsory digital health as well. So we need to focus on telemedicine like services. So even we have to focus on importance of technology in improving the healthcare access. And even we have to focus on efficiency of this technology. And even we have to focus on especially underserved areas. So here, take down this point. We need to focus on developing digital health as well. And even they are focusing on regional health infrastructure, especially they are focusing on Southeast Asia. So in this Southeast Asia, they are going for setting up of regional offices. So that will be very helpful for effective health governance. So write this keyword, it will be helpful for effective health governance. And next one is upcoming global events. So we are going to have this G20 summit soon. So that if you are giving more amount of funds, obviously we can showcase our soft power and our intention towards improving of health in other countries, and we will be maintaining our leadership. Okay, see this article, very important article, and I like this article the most. So sunset for UK's coal-fired power lessons for India. So what does this article might be talking about? Sunset for UK's coal-fired power means. So actually whatever the last coal power plant in UK which has been working now, that last plant also had been closed. That means there is no power in UK which they are generating from coal. So here why we have to bother about that? If they are closing, let them close. But why we have to think, and why we have to read, and why we have to note down everything? Why we have to bother? Exploitation of coal in India. So what? Okay, what we have to learn then? Yes, so here we have to learn the things like if they are closing that coal, but how they are going to meet the demand of energy of UK people, and what are the lessons that we can learn, like so what are the alternative technologies they are using, and next one is how we have to go for phasing out of that coal in India, and how we have to move from non-renewable towards renewable energy target. And if you are moving, what will be the advantage? We can achieve this carbon dioxide emissions reduction in our country. Obviously, carbon neutrality we can achieve, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, zero carbon emissions, everything. And we can decrease this global warming, and we can achieve this Paris climate deal, everything, right? So here this article is saying that closure of UK's last coal-fired power plant marks a significant shift in global energy production. Okay, but they are facing some challenges. Like if they are closing entirely this coal, so what are the alternatives they are having? So actually these countries, they depend upon mainly nuclear power plants, and as well as natural gas energy. So here let us see what are the things that you have to get. So why UK came up with this transition from non-renewable energy towards renewable energy? So what is the lesson that they learned? So what happened was in 1952 there was a great smog which appeared in UK. So because of this, actually we will be also having this smog every year in this Delhi in the winter season, but we are not taking any actions. But actually in 1952 itself, so this was the event which happened in UK. From that historical event that happened, so the entire strategy of energy of UK had been changed. But anything which happens in India, so we will think that yes, we have to take strong steps when we are getting something. But after the problem is resolved, again back to normal. So that is the thing which is happening. So that is the attitude of especially developing and less developed countries. So that is the important reason why the developed countries are ranking good in every index when we are comparing with the top less developed and developing countries, because of no proper taking of measures or implementation of laws. Okay, so here whenever you are writing any essay regarding environmental change or renewable energy, you can use this history of UK. So what led to change of UK's transition from non-renewable towards renewable energy? So it is a very good essay start. Okay, and because of this historical context which led to shaping of energy policies of UK. And if you see India's historical coal extraction, which dates back to British colonialism. So when this Britishers started railways, so at that time these railways they used to run by the coal. So from that time onwards we started using of coal. But currently also whatever the energy that we are getting, that is from thermal energy. So from that time onwards there is no change in our strategy. So this is a thing that we have to learn from UK. And next one is UK has successfully reduced coal reliance, and Germany have multiple socio-economic challenges. So in a similar way, so we have to focus on the challenges now in India. Like we have to address local issues and we have to address energy demand. And actually you know that nowadays migration is happening like from rural to urban areas. And you know that there is increasing of use of electronics like ACs, whatever it may be, and there is increasing of heat waves. So because of increasing of heat waves, again there is increasing of energy demand. So we have to even achieve this challenge of increasing of energy demand and even poverty, and how we are shifting towards renewable energy, because initially if you want to shift, the cost will be very high. So we have to focus on that, and we have to focus on different emission profiles. So India is the third largest carbon emitter, but the per capita emission is much lower than UK. So if you see the three countries which are large emitters, first one is US, next one is China, and third one is India. So here India is the third largest carbon emitter, but when we are comparing with the per capita, means when we are dividing by the population, already you know that India's population is very huge. So here when we are dividing with population, we will be getting per capita, per head, how much emission is releasing, that is far less compared to the of developed countries. So it is underscoring the need for developed countries to recognize the historical responsibilities while supporting developing nations. So if someone is pointing out for India that India is the third largest emitter, then again we will be showing that we will be defending by saying that per capita emissions is low than your country. Okay, so yesterday we did this point, like how we are going to decrease this cognitive dissonance. So one thing here is we have to limit the information, or else we have to defend the information. And next one here is, if you see the renewable energy goals, India has a commitment of getting this renewables by 2050, and even we have target of carbon neutrality by 2070. So if we want to achieve this target, we have to go for transition and we have to reduce coal dominance in our energy mix. And this one here is actually the population of our country is 20 times more that of UK. So one more important challenge is how we are going to meet the energy demand, because whenever there is increased population, obviously there will be high demand for this energy, right? So making coal phase out is very, very challenging for India, and even it is the need of hour now. And if you see what will be the economic implications, UK's transition led to economic hardships in coal dependent regions. So whenever any country which had been completely eliminated that, then what happened? There will be increased pressure on other countries which are using that, right? So now India is in a pressure. So like how you're going to phase out. So when you're going to phase out, okay? And even we have to focus on economic impacts of phasing out and even social welfare strategies. What can we take so that we can go for energy transition? And this one is we need global collaboration for sure, because we need international support so that we'll be getting finance and also we'll be getting technology so that we can shift towards that, so that we can implement effective policies and we can have a balanced approach to reduce emissions. And there are two articles in your text and context which are important. So say this, what does US CIRF report says about India? So what this report is saying about India's freedom, India's religious freedom. So religious freedom is deteriorating in India. So why? Why? What are the reasons which gave here? So actually USCIRF, it is an independent bipartisan US federal government agency, and which is a statutory body which formed under International Religious Freedom Act of USA. So this body will be monitoring universal right to freedom of religion across the countries other than US. And next one here is this, it reports are backed by the research and numerous citations, and actually it will be taking references from media. Okay, it will be taking the references from media, and as well as that media will be like domestic media or international medias, and even testimonies of the different countries. Okay, so actually India said that it is a biased organization. So whatever the information is given, it is not correct from India point of view. Always we will be defending that information. So it is a common thing. And see here one more very important article from Indian economy point of view. So why is the textile industry struggling to perform better? So do you know about textile industries? In which states we have major textile industries in India? In Gujarat and as well as in Maharashtra, we have good textile industries. So tell me, what are the problems faced by these textile industries now? So textile industries, what is the raw material they need? Cotton. So whether there is a availability of cotton in India or not? Available. So actually recently what happened, this cotton had been affected by one new disease. So because of this, there is reduced production of cotton. Okay, so that is a one important thing. So actually, if you see the size of this Indian textile and apparel industry in India is like $153 billion in 2021, and almost it contributes $110 billion by domestic business itself. So in India, the business here is $110 billion. But the slow downing of the demand which started from 2022 to 2023, and in 2024, there is worsening of our textile industry, and there is decreasing of exports of textiles, and even there is decreasing of demand of domestic consumers also. So in our country also there is decrease in the demand for this textiles. And apart from policy issues, actually industry also staring at disruption in the traditional business system. So actually because of this, direct e-commerce is a trend that is catching on among garment and home textile manufacturers, with more startups entering in this space. So actually the problem here is, what are the shops they are running now? So there is decreasing of demand for the shops, but there is increasing of options for e-commerce. E-commerce trend is now booming in this textile industry. So because of this, traditional artisans, they are having losses. So this is the one problem which is given here. And see like what are the exactly the problems in our Indian textile industry, and I will be giving you the question based on this topic today in your for your mains practice. Okay, what are the problems faced by Indian textile industry? Because from Indian economy point of view, you will be getting current affairs based questions only. So in Indian economy, you will be studying about agriculture, industry and service sector. So this is from your industrial sector. And actually India is one of the very famous country for textiles, but unfortunately from 2022 onwards there is decrease in demands for the textiles. So there will be a question in your mains regarding this for sure. Okay, so we are going to have a practice question on this topic. So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class and share this class to your friends, and do subscribe to Rathods Science Academy. And thank you so much for watching, guys.